Fanatics did something tonight I had never heard about. They have a lottery to get your blasters. So you go. Actually, I would go on there now. But I mean, even if you don't really rip, but they're taking your information, your credit card information, how many of what product you want, and they're doing an actual lottery for the product. That is going to be the change.
Now, what's the benefit? Let's walk through this now, since you've introduced us. What's the benefit of that to the person buying?
You don't have to compete with bots.
Yeah,
you're competing with real people with addresses.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to pay $50 for a Mosaic basketball blaster or a football blaster. I'm paying $29, and they actually have a different parallel. So if they're able to control the market where everybody has a shot, that's going to change the game. That's going to get people who don't rip to make them rip. You know what I'm saying?
I think there are things that have been said. There's going to be more that's going to put more cars in people's hands, more sports cars. I'm not talking about V-Friends and other stuff. I'm talking about there's going to be more sports cars available to different people at different price points. And
I did hear that.
Yeah. Yep.
But this is amazing. I just before I got on, I saw one of the guys I follow. His name is Viking56 or something on YouTube. Every morning he does like a target group where they wait up and see what they're stocking. And since I started doing that, I've been getting product. You know, I go to my Borders. Borders has cards, and they always have cards. It's typically in the afternoon around 2:30, 3 o'clock. So it's like a real. It feels as though it's a fair shot. Like I don't feel pressed to buy from resellers because I know I'm gonna have an opportunity to get cards on Target.com. Now it's gonna take 2 weeks to get your cards, but you do have an opportunity. But if they do that for all the products, and it's a clock on there, so it's like 17 hours before they do the lottery. You know how many of the, so that means that truly the people who want cars have an opportunity to get them. It's not going to be all these bots going in and destroying everything. I believe this is going to be good for us and bad for shop owners.
Richard said the breakers would be the biggest losers out of this. Fanatics want to eliminate the middleman in the long run.
I mean, I think you need the secondary market, though. I think the secondary market is very essential. I think how every market, like I was a sneakerhead. I'm still a sneaker. I got hundreds. Just like I got these starting lines, I got sneakers. The game got messed up when Jordan said, I'm not selling the shoes for $160 because they're reselling for $350. So we're going to go up to $225.
I remember that.
When they did that, it made it to where the secondary market, the resale changed from $300 to $275. And if it's $275 and I paid $250, it's not worth it. So you're killing that aspect of it, that exclusivity of it. So it's like, for me, I think you have to just let the secondary market be. Make your money that you're making and let the market do what it do. Like, it's crazy what they always talk about it. When people get killed for a shoe, that's the shoe you want. I mean, it sounds crazy, but when people were dying over Air Jordans and starter jackets and all that stuff, that's because everyone wanted it. And once it got to a point where no one cared about it, to the point, and I hate using, the killing part, but once it got to a point where no one was doing that anymore, it lost value. It went away. So, that sounds absolutely crazy, but that's true. So if you eliminate the need and the want, it makes it less valuable.
I can remember a time I was in high school. Jordans come out. I go to Evergreen Plaza on the south side of Chicago. We're standing in front of Foot Locker. As soon as that door opens,
Marvin,
you better be able to run.
Yeah.
Shit, they had that in 2006 when Xbox came out. I'll never forget this. I went out to a club, and my girl, she was like, "Hey, why are those people in line?" I was like, "Oh shit, the Xbox come out today." And I never was a person that wait in line or anything. I said, what time? It was like 3 a.m. I was like, damn, they open at 8. I was like, shit, I'll go wait in line. I went there earlier that day, and they said they had 50 copies of the Xbox 360. And I looked at the line, it was only like 12 people. I'm like, shit, I'll wait 5 hours. Drop me off. I go there, And at 8 o'clock, when the doors were opening, all the people just started hopping out of nowhere, cars, everything. So I went from number 12 to like number 29. Now I would have gone off normally, but I was like, I know they got 50. I ain't tripping. I'm getting one. It gets to 29, they're letting the guy in. It gets to 30, it gets on me, they stop me, and they said they're done. They're sold out.
Wow.
The employees bought them. I was pissed, but while I was in line, people were coming out of the store getting robbed in front of us. We're in line waiting. Guys are pulling up on cars, pulling guns on the people, taking their games. We just waiting in line.
You in Houston? Where you at?
We're in Houston, waiting in line. We're watching people get robbed. I'm just like, shit, damn, he got robbed. Nobody got out of line. Nobody said anything. Kids crying all over the place getting robbed. I saw 4 or 5 people get robbed. Guns pulled on them in the parking lot when that happened. And that was in 2006. I was walking around literally with $2,000 in my pocket trying to buy an Xbox every day. And I wound up buying a combo. Like they had to buy 6 games, six insurance on the games, warranties and all this stuff just to buy the Xbox.
But ultimately, right, if you're releasing a product, you don't want any of these stories connected to your brand, right? You really don't.
You don't want to, but most of those companies don't care. They just want the bottom line. They want to get it sold, in a fast amount of time, keep the hype up, the demand up.
But think about it, though. Is this like, do you hear products being released now and these same stories are happening?
No, because we live in different times. Like, people don't go out as much as they used to. Like me growing up, we went to the sneaker store literally like every day. Except for Sundays.
We used to go all the time.
Like seriously, we go to, City Blue, Sneaker Village, Foot Locker, like switch it up, go downtown, go see the nice, that was just a part of our daily lives. Like now kids and young adults don't even go to sneaker stores like that. They just look on their phone on StockX.
That's all you got.
And that relates to the same thing as sports cards or, games and stuff like that too. Like they don't even buy the physical games anymore. So I think the whole concept has changed, so it eliminates a lot of those stories, I believe.
It changes some of. Now the retail stores are crazy though. I don't watch people getting punked and bullied and watching people take all of the product. Like, so what they do is they bring a big goon with them and they'll sit up there. The goon will sit up there and try to muscle up. I shut all that down here in Houston. Like the little stores I always go to, it wasn't none of that. You bring your big partner. I'm the big partner. And everybody getting that. No, you ain't taking that. You getting this, we all eat. And I put myself out there like that because I'm like, what they gonna do? They collect cards. Like, what you gonna do? Like, I'm from New Orleans. Like what's happening? You know what I'm saying? And I saw how this was going down, and I'm finding out there's this one guy here in Houston who has like 50 workers. He deploys them out. He has the schedules. He goes to lunch with the MJ Holdings manager, and they know when they're getting dropped off. And what was happening is it'll be to the point where, say for instance, they got to drop the rep is there. He will come into the store and be like, come back later. He'll tell the rep not to put the stuff out and come back later because there's too many people there to get product. So I was like, man, this is crazy. I had no idea that people were getting into fist fights, pulling out guns. I had an old man, like 70 years old, was threatening to shoot me in the Target line one time. But
that's crazy.
It was crazy, man. And
hobby life, right? This is bananas.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was a time.
Scoreboard.
I haven't tried to buy something at retail, and all this is going on.
Really?
I think that was after I stopped buying stuff at retail like that. Because I just can't stand in the line. It's hard for me to stand. It was hard for me to stand in line and get someone's autograph. Like, it's just hard to be in a long line. Like J Mike, you said you rolled up at 3. They stopped your door at 8. I got serious problems. I can't. It's been 5 hours.
But think about this though. I was that guy. Like, I used to go out. I was the man here in Houston. I don't wait in lines. I pull up my 72 Cutlass with my big rounds and TVs. The bouncer gives me dap. I walk in. I skip the line. I'm that guy, right? Well, with the cards, it got so ridiculous at a point when right before Target stopped holding retail. I said I would never wait in line for cards, but it got to the point where you could literally, if you got in line, I spend $350, I can make $1,200 off of that product. It was like 3 and 4 times what I was paying for it. And I started doing the math on it. I'm like, well, I'm a personal trainer. I make $75 to $100 an hour as working. And it's midnight. If I go out there right now, I wait 7-8 hours. Let's say I wait 6 hours, right? I wait 6 hours. I'm able to get enough product where I can rip it, and then I can sell the rest of, which I never sold the rest of. I opened up everything, but so that was where I made the mistakes, is that I opened up all of the stuff that I bought. So and optic, I bought so much optic. Like I was getting a lot of optic, and optic was it's still very expensive for 2020 optic on 2 of them here. That stuff was so ridiculous in terms of the pull rate. You got nothing out of that stuff. So I waited in line, got all that product, and I would just open it all. But it was just the fact that how much it was worth. And it's like, if you look at it, it was almost a job. So they had guys who were hustling. They would go and wait in those lines, and they were making $1,000, $2,000 a day. So for 7-8 hours of work, that's not bad money.
That's not,
$1,000 a day for 8 hours of work. That's good money.